Are you someone who appreciates a specialty craft cocktail? Well, if so, then let me introduce you to The Last Penny. This is one of South Baltimore's most hidden gems, and it's a brand new spot for awesome drinks. So let's go inside and meet the owner. As a busy mom, realtor, and someone who just likes to have fun, I am always on the go around Baltimore. Whether you're new to the area or you've been here your whole life, I want to show you my favorite places to eat, play, and live around 21230. I'm Alison Hudler, and this is the 21230 show. Hey, Deval.
Hey, Alison, what's up?
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having us today.
Thanks for coming.
So excited. I love The Last Penny, and I just wanted to share with the world, and especially South Baltimore, all about you guys. So
awesome.
For people who haven't been here, maybe haven't even heard about you, can you tell us a little bit about where you are and background on Last Penny?
Yeah, so we're at 1401 Decatur Street. This coming January will be our second year opening. We, my friends and I bought the building and the bar and the license, and when we went to the liquor board, they essentially said you had to open right away. So cool. My cousin and I actually started the bar, and we've been rolling with it since then. We thought, a local cocktail bar, which there's a plethora of bars around our area and restaurants, and they're all amazing. So we wanted to cater to signature cocktails, and we wanted to make sure everybody was welcome. So we're kind of like a blue collar local neighborhood cocktail bar. We do like to think of ourselves as a conversation bar. You should be able to hear the person next door and just hang out, and it's very social. People around the neighborhood, a lot of times people outside the neighborhood are coming in. We're kind of tucked away, almost like a speakeasy.
Yeah. And it kind of has that little vibe too, which is cool.
Yeah.
And when you renamed it, tell us how you named it The Last Penny.
So we had a lot of contenders. I wanted to call it The Parent Trap because I had a kid at the time, and I got shot down by my partner.
Sure, I could see that.
And the oldest guy on our street, who's a native, Pete from across the street, he
he's
just
kept. Out there right now.
Yeah, he's sitting out there, always sitting out there. Monitoring the neighborhood, and he's just adamant about call it The Last Penny. Call it The Last Penny.
So he named it?
We took the name from him. We thought that we put all of our resources in here. We're all in. We're vested in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I've been in the neighborhood for over a decade. I live on the corner with my wife and 2 kids, and we took the name. We thought it was very appropriate.
Do you know where he found this name from, or where he came up with it?
He said it just sounds good. So it went from there. Yeah.
That's awesome. I remember being here when it was Pete's birthday one time. Everybody sang happy birthday to him, didn't we?
Yeah, he probably had.
That was probably like right after you opened.
Yeah, so he's been around. He grew up in that house.
It's amazing.
And there's multiple families here that actually grew up here also. And so he's kind of like the local celebrity of the street, and when he's sitting here, people buy him beer.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yep.
I think it's cool too. My son found a penny one time, and he's like, "Mom, I found the last penny."
Oh, really?
He thinks any penny is now the last penny.
That's awesome. Yeah, my kids are like, get very excited when we talk about the bar.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And they get super excited if I'm like, let's go do some work at the bar. Because they feel like there's a purpose.
Yeah.
And that's their job. So.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
so we're happy to be part of the neighborhood and contribute to the neighborhood.
Totally. And I'm sure the neighborhood, such as myself, really appreciates you guys too. So
yeah, we get a lot of local support, so we're very appreciative of that.
Definitely. Well, your whole premise here is really amazing drinks. I know my favorite's usually been the Rosemary's Baby, which is pretty good.
Yes.
Would you guys want to maybe make some drinks and show people?
I will make you as many drinks as you want.
Okay, awesome.
So the Rosemary's Baby is vodka, lemon, fresh lemon juice, which we squeeze in-house.
Okay.
Simple syrup, and a rosemary blackberry shrub. And the shrub goes back to, I think, colonial times.
Okay.
It's a very vinegary, kind of tart flavor to it. So the simple balances that out.
Yeah.
And then, as you'll see in a sec, I get more shrub. As you'll see in a sec, we finish it off with a floater of dark rum. So the dark rum floater just gives it a little bit more of like a balance because the shrub is so kind of like tart and vinegary.
Yeah.
We make that in-house too. It takes about 10 days.
Wow. So
But it's worth it.
What goes into that? How is it? Go ahead.
So it's a process. There's a bunch of sugar, and then we put a bunch of blackberries in there.
Okay.
And then we have to let it sit with vinegar. And then after that, we boil it, put rosemary into it, and then extract the blackberries out.
Wow.
And the vinegar essentially pulls the flavor in, and we pasteurize it. And then we let it marinate, and we shake it every day to let it like escalate in flavor.
Macerate, is that what it's called?
Macerate.
Macerate. Okay.
Macerate means to break it down.
Macerate.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
I wasn't going to say that word.
Macerate.
Macerate. It's essentially the same thing. And when you go into the pool and your skin starts to like get prickly.
Got it.
Now you know. But yeah. So then we make that in house and we make it in batches throughout the year.
So this is the dark rum floater.
And all the juices, save for cranberry juice, it's in house.
Awesome.
It's fresh juice. We squeeze it
Yeah.
ourselves. The ice cubes, the large ones, which are clear, we make those in house.
Ooh, awesome.
We put a lot of effort into our product, and Dan puts a lot of effort into innovation.
Yes, absolutely. Wow.
The
this
cherries
looks
are
so
also
good.
marinated in house, and
Beautiful.
we take a lot of time in choosing what you would say our rail is.
Okay. That's great. Wow. Thank you, sir. That looks amazing.
Thank you.
I don't even want to mess it up.
So there's always a spiel that I give to everybody who drinks it for the first time. Because it does have the dark rum floater on top.
Yep.
If you're just gonna drink it right away, it's gonna taste like straight alcohol.
Yep.
So I always tell people, depending on what kind of day it is, you can either take the shot right off the top, or I always recommend to just take the cherries and stir it in.
Okay.
So yeah,
Cool.
enjoy.
All right. I'll stir it. I usually just drink it, but I'll stir it today. I don't think I've ever really stirred it. I don't want to mess it up too much. That'll be good. So good. Thank you.
So what we do, like what Paul was alluding to before, is that we just take dried sweetened cherries and we rehydrate them in whiskey
Okay.
and a little bit of amaretto. Give them a nice little sweetness to them. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so it's a very classic drink. I think they started it in New York, or I might be messing that up with something else. We do a New York sour, but obviously that is inspired by New York. But I think the whiskey sour with the egg whites might have also started up there. I'm not the best cocktail historian.
Yeah.
So this is whiskey, lemon, simple. Right now I've done the lemon and the simple. Everything gets about 2 ounces of alcohol, except for the old fashioned, which gets 3.
Okay.
Do some bitters. And then there's a bunch of different ways, well not a bunch, there's kind of 3 different ways that you can do a shake for like an egg white drink.
Okay.
You can do a dry shake, then a wet shake. You can do a whip shake. And I guess this is a wet shake to a dry shake. It works really well for us because you shake it up really hard, you break up all the ice, and what you have left is those little shards. And then that gets whipping around in there the whole time. It melts a little bit faster than a whip shake. My last step, I put all of this in, and I got this tip from one of the bartenders at 1157 actually, is add the egg white last because the acidity will like break down the egg white a little bit faster. So just in the very last bit, I give it a nice little squeeze, and then we do our wet shake.
Lots of process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of guys.
You notice Dan can smile throughout the whole process.
I'm normally not smiling when I'm shaking. It's laborious.
Wow.
I'm gonna do an initial strain. And now we have all the little shards in there. And this is why I never smile. Because this takes forever.
Whoa.
You can kind of hear him clanking around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dan pretty much shakes until he stops hearing the clank.
Yeah. Most times.
That's crazy. I remember you were saying, I might get hot when I make you do this. I don't understand why.
Yeah, people will come in the winter and it won't be cold, but it will be not hot in here,
Yeah,
or not
yeah.
very warm, and ask if I can turn it up, and I'm like, a little?
Do you want me to make your drink as great as it is, or do you want to be warm?
Yeah, would you like me to be comfortable?
Wow.
Whew.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the longer that sits,
We start to see the...
Yep. you
yeah,
can
a
see
little
it.
bit more of a separation.
Yep.
And then, just for funsies, this is just bitters, but it's a nice little decoration on top. I need to study with some baristas or something and figure out some cool, like, cappuccino art I can do on it. Yeah, do little hearts.
For me?
For you.
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, for my wonderful bar owner, DePaul.
Thank you so much.
Good job, Dan. Looks great.
Thank you. So now that you guys both have a drink, do you mind if I join you and make my my favorite old fashioned?
Yes.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Good.
So our old fashioned, we try to keep it as simple and close to traditional as possible. So we use a nice high proof bourbon. We don't muddle any of the fruit, but that's kind of the beauty of it. It's a super easy drink to make, but it's also really easy to mess up.
Good.
So again, this one's a little bit, this one you might only have one for the night.
Got it.
It'll
Since
get
it's, yeah, it's,
you. It'll get you. It's a sleeper.
it's got some people before. Since it's 3 ounces of bourbon, you want to put a little bit of simple in there to cool it down. And get your bitters. And this is where we deviate slightly from what's traditional for an old fashioned.
Okay.
I'll throw in some orange bitters. I'll do some of our cherry juice, which again we do in house. Give that a nice stir for like, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. I always look to see like when the glass starts to get condensated.
Good. Yeah.
And that's because like traditional recipe was, I think it was alcohol, water, bitters, and that's about it. So yeah, I guess the simple and the two juices are
You can see it.
a little bit
Yes.
different, yeah.
Yep, I can see it.
Let's feel a little bit cool.
That's awesome.
Alright. Then just
So we use the big clear ice cubes also, so it doesn't dilute so easily.
Yeah. That's great.
give it a
It's
little
a very pretty drink.
press that on there.
It's like one of my favorite colors.
It's wonderful.
Beautiful.
Great for when it starts to get cold.
I was gonna say it looks like a fall drink.
Yeah.
Cozy already.
It'll warm you up, yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Dan. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
How is it?
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'd drink them all day if I could keep standing. After that second one,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a
Yeah, I
doozy,
take
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's so fun. Nice. Well, I know, Toy, you're telling me a little bit of the history behind the bar. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so this has been a pre-prohibition bar. When I've asked people in the neighborhood, it's always been a bar. It's changed hands, and some of the uniqueness that we have is we always have Bob Ross playing on the back.
Yes.
We turned the TV on when we installed it the first time, and he came on, and he's been a hit and part of the family since. so which is pretty cool. Our as I mentioned, our rails are really good. We have this gin Gigi for our dry gin. We use Old Forester. Our cocktails, we put a lot of effort into our cocktails.
Yeah.
We put a lot of time into them. Dan will not let things go. So believe me, unless it's up to par, we're not going to be serving.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a full-time realtor, just like you.
Yep.
And we still carve out time. My partner is my cousin, Pratik. So he does a lot of the accounting things on the back end.
Cool.
And somehow we're making it work. We're hoping that, we get busier, more people outside the community figure us out and find us. And we just want to kind of grow our presence as a family bar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cocktail bar.
Yes, well, you're doing a great job already. And for those who maybe haven't heard of you guys or don't know where you are, how can they, first of all, find you on social media and then actually come in here and visit?
So we're at 1401 Decatur Street. We have an Instagram. It's thelastpenny_Balt. And actually, we have a QR code that I can bring up.
Yeah.
You want to grab it in real quick?
Cool, thanks.
We're hoping to have food in the next coming year.
Mm-hmm.
We're still navigating that process. We did have a kitchen, but it didn't work out for us.
Yeah.
It was difficulty for staffing. Yeah, our neighbor made that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, who?
And in the back. Kristen.
Andrew, I'll selfless plug. See, I've already had 2 sips and I can't talk. I think his name is Andrew Garfinkel? But anyway, he lives over there. But that's yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So if anybody else wants to get something made like that, this is super cool, and he makes them. So
we've gotten in.
Great.
But that's another example of the neighborhood, right? We used to have these flimsy paper ones, and people like to use them as coasters. They still like to use those as coasters.
This would be a cool coaster.
And but when it gets wet, it messes up the whole QR thing, and it can't
there's
scan.
a poly on it.
Yeah.
So then he was like, "Hey, I see this problem. I got this thing, some extra wood. Do you want them?" And you're like, "Yeah, totally. That's great." Yeah.
That's so cool.
I did want to mention our bar talent is amazing.
Yes. Well, yeah.
So it's not just Dan, who's also
all
very
of us.
important.
Yeah.
We have Jeff, Liz, Woody. They all have different personalities, and they all contribute to the bar atmosphere. So please,
It's very important.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like you said, just be able to come in, talk to your bartender, talk to your neighbors. It's a great place to be and just hang out. So.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
And I know you also mentioned to me before too that you really appreciated the support of the other local business owners.
Yeah. So I've gone to the City Limits and Hull Street Blues and Harry's, which is Ironworks, and everybody in the neighborhood is not out to get anybody. They're all kind of supporting each other, and I think that's really, really beautiful about the neighborhood. In all honesty, we're on a peninsula. We get outside traffic, which is great, and everybody is unique in their own environment in terms of what they offer as a bar, restaurant, and I think that's really a selling point for Locust Point.
Absolutely, yeah.
And South Baltimore in general.
Yes, for sure. Well, I'm glad that you've felt supported and are supportive of the community. We all thank you. And is there anything else you'd like to share for people who maybe haven't been here or to those who have been before?
I think you need to try us, in all honesty.
Definitely come out.
We're very neighborhoody, and we have great drinks. It's a great atmosphere. And there's plenty of other places to go afterwards or before too. So try a bunch of the bars around.
Yep, come grab a drink and then or two or however many you want.
Go grab some food somewhere.
Grab some food somewhere else.
Or come back afterwards or whatever you want. But
absolutely.
Locust Point is amazing.
It is.
Just another selfless plug. We've got the Wine Wednesday right now.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday, every week, every month. $5 a glass for all the wines. We're working on more weekday specials. I was just convinced by some of the locals to do the Golden Bachelor. So We're gonna do
Watch it?
Yeah, we're gonna do
Nice.
Golden Bachelor watch parties on Thursdays. Bring your PJs, just chill. Yeah.
We'll have football, okay?
Yeah, we'll have-
we'll have
we'll have-
3 TVs.
We'll have something where Bob is, so that'll be fun. Or if there's 2 people for the Golden Bachelor, maybe we'll put them in the back.
I might come.
Yeah.
I've been watching The Bachelor shamelessly for like season 2 ever with
Yeah.
my mom back in the day. So
Gonna try to think
why
of
not come for the Golden Bachelor? Yeah.
Gonna try to do a golden cocktail or 1 or 2. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we're working on it. We're stoked and yeah.
Very cool.
That was also a neighborhood.
Yeah, that was the neighborhood.
Our neighbors are asking us to do things, and we try
Yes,
to oblige
the
to
answer
them.
is yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right.
Whatever you want, neighbors. Do you guys still do the citywide?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was always, I mean, back in the day, I feel like we'd come and
Yeah, we still do. We have a soul and rail shot, or you could do a natty or a light and rail
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
Natty Bow, Natty Light, and a rail, whatever. Whether
Yeah.
that's whiskey, tequila, vodka, yeah. And our rail's not bad, so.
yeah.
Yeah, rail's good.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a pleasure chatting. And if you haven't been here or just haven't been here in a while, get back out, come support these guys. They make such amazing cocktails, and the atmosphere is great, and they're just good people. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming through.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Well, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
All right. See you soon.